What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Ben Pet Show, Real Christian Show, and I'll go straight into the topic today, which is AmericaFest, Turning Point, Erika Kirk, and I'm going to tell you guys what I really think, unfiltered, honest opinion, and my thoughts on Turning Point, AmericaFest. I was there. I'll start with the good stuff. I think there's also a lot of good. I think it was a great event, great production. There's a crap ton of people, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I was able to meet a lot of cool influencers, content creators, and make some cool connections. I really like Vivek Ramaswamy's speech, Tucker Carlson. I'm a huge fan of Russell Brand now. I think he's a great dude. He's the guy that was in Hollywood and he was married to Katy Perry, and then they got divorced, and he left everything, and now he follows Christ, and he talks unapologetic about him. I think he's great. But yeah, overall, I think the event was pretty cool. It was a really cool experience. It was like type of like a Tony Robbins event with the music and everything, and it was very well produced. There was a lot of media companies, and I was able to do a lot of cool interviews and create a lot of content, and all those videos went viral. So at least that was good. But there's a lot of things too that it's just weird, and I think a lot of you guys are gonna be able to relate, and I'm willing to bet that you guys are gonna agree with. Now, let me just start with a couple speeches. I'll just start with Erika Kirk. When she came on stage, and she started making jokes about the Egyptian planes. And it's not even funny because I'm like, dude, those are real accusations that you have against you. Why don't you just talk about it? I think it's a lot of just deflecting and or just not answering. And yeah, if you're just a regular normal being, like she's cool, yeah, whatever. But you're the CEO of a $100 million company. People donate a crap ton of money, and they go to your events. They donate money. You influence politics, and politics is just such a dirty industry to be in. But I just thought that was weird. There's not a lot of authenticity. There's not a lot of transparency coming from Turning Point, especially area. She's the CEO now, so that was very weird. And another thing is too many flowers going to her. Like it's too much of this agenda that we have to like her, that we have to be supportive of her, that we can't criticize her, that we can attack her or make arguments about what she's doing. It's like, oh, but she's a widow. She's this. She's a woman. I'm like, I totally get it, but she's also running a multi-million-dollar company, and she makes a crap ton of money from it too. She's on every podcast, media outlet, all these tours, selling books, promoting Charlie's book, this event, hanging out with celebrities, politicians. So I think it's just kind of weird. It's like when like a football player complains that, oh, dude, just mental health. I'm like, dude, you're getting paid 30 million a year and you complain about mental health. Like, come on. That's the way I get with her too. It's just kind of weird, and I think they're pushing this agenda to like her. On versus Charlie, that dude earned the right of everything he did to speak for his platform, for his content. He was working, he's bought off every single day, and being with the people, like with all of us as students, the young people, and debating and having a face to face conversation. And I think with Erica is with celebrities, the elite, the politicians, the donors, the billionaires, and she's like up here and we're like down here. That's how I feel. That's how it's portraying, and the message that they're showing. And I don't know. I just think when she started joking about everything that for what took the Egyptian planes, I'm like, it's not funny. A lot of people think you're actually involved. Like you can just try to talk about it. It's not as hard to like say what were you doing or this and that when your company is being attacked or your husband just got murdered in public television. So anyway, I think it's kind of weird. During this swamp, all these movement, it, it's just all these politicians, dude. I used to be a huge Trump supporter, if I'm being honest with you, and conservative values, Republican, whatever. But I think I'm more in the middle now. I think both sides are a lot of there's a lot of corruption. I think a lot of it is all of us versus all of them, all the elite and globalist people and rich people and wealthy people and whatever. I'm not saying wealthy people are bad, but I'm saying there's a handful of people that they want to have power and control, and they just want to show shove down our throats these agendas and influence. That's just how I see things. It's very weird. There was a pastor that was praying for Israel in the beginning, just like blessing Israel and praying about Israel. Not even the country like America. It was just about Israel. And I just hate that agenda, everything about Israel. I don't have anything against Jews or anything. I just have something against why are we talking so much about somebody else's country in this country? Again, this other agenda of we need to like these people because we're telling you to. And God says so. It just doesn't work like that. Biasi said, I think a lot of it is kind of like us versus them. I don't think a lot of it's like left versus right. I think the left, they're more of, they'll do all the bad stuff in your face. You can see it. At least they're more transparent about it. I think the right, they're more of like, kind of like want to see good guys, but they do all the dirty stuff in the back, behind the scenes. So you can't very see it unless you dig deep. And I think all of us are like, dude, we just want to live. We just want to work, make money, be with our families, be with our spouses, kids, and enjoy life. And all these people, they're just playing all these games with the entire population. So also, she did Erika, and I'll talk more about it. Actually, I'm just going to jump into what else did I see. I think she's just way too corporate, in my opinion. It's going back. I have a lot to say. I'll just save this to the end. I think she's compromised, but I think it's just way too corporate. It was very interesting. There's a lot of older people at AmericaFest. Like, there's young people for sure, but I would say the majority, more than 50%, probably 60%, it was older people. And I think a lot of kids are waking up to these elite global agenda that is being pushed down our throats by all of them, like literally all of them. But yeah, there was way more older people than young people. I don't do Ben Shapiro. I don't even like this guy. I don't even know why he was there. Charlie Kirk literally said vocally, and I've heard him multiple times and I've done my research, that he did not even like him, but he was there talking about Israel. So I'm like, and I also know that they pay a crap ton of money in marketing and pay money for him to speak. So it's not that he's just invited. They pay money to be there. Daily Wire was there. They had like a huge booth. So a lot of these people, I don't know how they do with the other speakers. I just know specifically with Ben Shapiro, they paid a crap ton of money, Daily Wire, for him to be there and speak. So he's purchasing all these relationships and friendships. And he was going after Megyn Kelly and stuff. That dude is a scumbag, in my opinion. He was talking about discernment and that you shouldn't listen to them and the truth and you gotta look at the facts. And then this kid came up and talked about 19 something about the USS Liberty that Israel bombed and didn't destroy but killed a dozen Americans and hurt a lot of, like, hundreds of Americans too that were in the ship. And he's like, well, what's the intent with your question? Like, he was just deflected, not talking about it. But the kid was like, dude, that was a fact that happened, and the Israeli government was never held accountable because of it. So, and you're talking about truth and facts, and that we need to hold people accountable. He was talking against Tucker Carlson, Candace, and Nick Fuentes, and Megyn Kelly, which, in my opinion, I love those four guys genuinely. Why? Because they're independent. They don't have like this massive company that they're building and donors and everything. I think a lot of what they do, they've been in this politics world, in content media world, and they kind of like hated it, and then they went out and did their own thing, and now they're more on our side than their side. That's why I like them. Now, do I agree with everything that they say? No, and that's okay. You will never agree with everything that people say. Like, think about your friendships. Like, do you have a friend that you agree 100% of the things that he or she says? Probably not. So anyway, he was just going after Tucker Carlson, Candace, and Nick, and Megyn Kelly. And I really like those four of them. So anyhow, he was just defending the state of Israel. And I'm like, dude, the state of Israel has been involved in so many things that people want answers to. The USS Liberty, Charlie Kirk, the Epstein files, the freaking 9/11, all these stuff. And it's just very weird, the whole relationship with Israel and the United States. And it's talking about all these conspiracy theories that you're pretty much retarded. He said it, you're retarded if you believe them. And I'm like, well, there's conspiracy theories for a reason, because we don't have the truth. If the truth was just blatantly true and factual and everything, why would we have conspiracy theories? Conspiracy theories only come when people are not being transparent and there's not enough evidence about something and they want to hide the truth and manipulate us. Therefore, conspiracies come of like, what actually happened? For example, with the whole Charlie Kirk assassination or JFK and stuff like that. We don't have all the facts. We don't have all the information. They're trying to push this narrative of what they think, and they led us to If they repeat it enough, we're gonna believe it. But it doesn't work like that. And I think social media has done a great job because now we can actually see their agenda and what they're actually trying to push. Um, but anyhow, all right. When it comes to and Vivi Ramaswamy, I think was great. He was talking about free speech and that anyway we have the duty to defend it regardless if we agree or not. But I think overall all that stuff was good. Erika Kirk and Ben Shapiro just have a lot of problems with it. They even did a debate about Israel. It was not even a debate. It was just like two guys that actually agree about Israel, and like it was just weird. Like this whole debate holding these politicians, elite, and public figures accountable is like kind of disappearing. It's becoming a lot of more like a speaking event that you go and just tell them what you think, and then you're out. This whole Charlie Kirk thing of all right, let's see why we disagree in free speech and talk. It's completely disappearing and turning point. Now, when it comes to, and I'm going to talk about turning point too. This is my genuine uh, perception and what I think prediction of what's going to happen with turning point. And I posted on my Instagram too. I think what's going to happen with them, they're going to fall, 1,000%. I think the company, the movement, and the brand that Charlie started will fall. And he will become the complete opposite of what he started. Why? Because he had direct access to his audience. These people now, especially the CEO, Eric, they don't. They're there, we're down here. Charlie was here, going to people. Now it's more of like, we'll send a crap ton of people, content, whatever, we're going to tell you what to do, what to think, and you just got to follow us. And I think they're going to fall. I think it's going to get to a point that the one thing that they really stood by, which it was free speech, it will be banned if you criticize them, if you make content about them, especially about Erika. And we're already seeing that they're pushing this whole agenda, especially in Erika Kirk, about you have to like her, you have to do this, you have to do that, you can't criticize her. Why? Oh, she's a waiter, she's a woman, and they use emotional manipulation to make you stop asking questions. And what did Charlie say? Never stop asking questions, because the moment you stop asking questions, that's the moment violence starts. And I think we're seeing a little bit of it. But I think Turning Point, it's getting very corrupted. I think Charlie, with the whole information that's been coming out, he knew there was something corrupt with money, with people inside his organization, and he started like a Doge program and kind of like seeing where's money going to, coming from, and everything. And they killed him before he was able to realize all these things. And now I think Turning Point at some point, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm telling you, it will. I'm calling it out. It will fall, and it will fall because of the corruption from within. The only way a ship can sink if water comes inside. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It doesn't, remember, a ship doesn't sink because of the water outside. It comes when the water starts getting in because of the water that's inside the ship. I think that's what's going to happen with Turning Point too. Now, when it comes to Erika Kirk, this is my honest reaction and my honest opinion on Filter about her. I think she's totally fake. Genuinely. Do I think she killed him? I don't think so. But I think they're using her as an image to push all of these agendas, and she just doesn't know what she's doing, and she's just there. And they're kind of like running this PR campaign to make her be likable, and that we got to listen to her, and we got to follow her and follow her movement and believe her everything that comes out of her mouth. I just don't like it. I genuinely don't. This whole I'm perfect, I'm holy, I'm such a righteous person, and I'm a role model, and you should listen to me because I'm so holy and amazing. It's very fake and gay. I just don't like it. Don't like it at all. And I don't hate her. I really don't. And even though a lot of people think I do, but I don't. I just hate fake people. The principle of it, what she's doing, her behaviors. I don't hate her specifically because I don't know her. I don't hate anybody, but her behaviors, I just don't like it because it's not relatable. It's not authentic, and people can. A lot of you guys know. My comments and DMs are flooded with people like you guys that you're waking up. She's not answering the questions that people are having. She's not being transparent. And she's using emotional manipulation for us to like her or not ask questions. Or you can ask questions. You can't go after Turning Point because they're my family. You can't say anything because they're my children. Bruh, get out of here. We're going to ask questions and we're going to hold you accountable. Why? Because you make millions of dollars now. with your organization, your personal brands, and companies you started. I think she's been seeking power and fame for a long time. I mean, she was in the beauty pageant and everything. I think she was an actress too. She's been wanting to do all these things to get power and recognition, and whoa, now she has it. I don't think she's earned it. I think she was waiting for her opportunity, and it happened. But yeah, I think they're definitely putting this agenda. I was shocked when Candace brought this kid Mitch on her show, and he was talking about how he saw Erika Kirk at Fort Huachuca the day before Charlie was murdered. I think this is very odd. I think the whole Egyptian place is very odd. I think the whole turning point tax evasion is very odd. And I think the whole Israel thing is very odd. I think there's a lot of things that we have questions to that people are not talking about. If somebody killed my best friend and there's not justice being done, dude, I'm burning buildings. I can give a fuck about everything else. Genuinely. Like, I don't know this whole thing of like, hey, we should care about the midterms instead of who killed Charlie Kirk. Politics, man, it's a very dirty world. It's very nasty. I think everything that she's done is very scripted. Like, for example, when she went to all these shows and stuff, all media, it's all scripted. It's all people that she likes. And for example, when she went to, when she did I think I told you guys that she did Prove Me Wrong. And I was like, oh, finally, she's going to ask questions. Like, people are going to ask questions. And we're going to see if she's transparent and if she can handle being CEO of a multi-million-dollar company that people are donating money and they have a lot of influence and impact on young people's lives. So we're going to see what's the real agenda and intent coming from the CEO. But you couldn't ask questions. You couldn't. They literally said in the beginning, you can't ask hard questions. They have to be fun and lighthearted. And whenever you went to the front of the line to ask a question, there was a girl there. And then she would be like, okay, what's your question? Then you would tell the question, and then they would send the question to a group chat. And then they'd be like, yeah, no, don't do it. No, too hard or and they would vet questions. That's why there was only women and little girls that asked questions. I don't know if it's on Rumble, but dude, I was there. Well, I was literally there. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Why are they asking about pancakes and waffles? About dating? Like, what the heck is this? And she would be like, oh, you got to be so holy and the Lord and this and that. And I just don't like that stuff, dude. I think everybody has dirt. Everybody has something that we're not proud of, dude. I have dirt in my whole life. Like, I've done so many things I'm not proud of, and I've struggled a lot. And that's why I think you guys like my message. And I have the platform that I have because it's relatable. But I think with her, she just hasn't earned that right, and she's just pushing this perfect, holy, amazing, how holy I am. And I think every single human being that does that, it's full of crap. I don't like them. They have this fakeness and not being transparent, and behind closed doors, freaking doing a lot of stuff. You would be surprised. Completely 180. So yeah, dude, I think she's definitely corrupted. I know that they want to get JD Vance elected, and that's why they're pushing this. And JD was there, and she was like, we're going to get JD Vance elected, and we're going to do everything radical. Whatever radical extreme is what it takes for him to get elected. Yeah, and even with the whole, Nicki Minaj, I'm glad I remembered. She was there too, at the end. I think that was retarded. And I made a video about it, but there's this clip that she's talking about Trump and how amazing, president, and beautiful he is. She's definitely seeking pardon or something. I don't know. She's in a lawsuit. 500,000 from a former security from 2018 or 2019, and now the judge, they said that they're going to sell her $20 million home in California to pay that lawsuit, and she's definitely struggling. Let me tell you more. Her husband, currently a husband, is a registered sex offender. He was in prison for 7 years because of first-degree manslaughter. He was in jail, and they're still together, and I think they have a kid together. So I'm not saying people can't change, but that's her history. And anyway, they were talking about role models for young men, and she was talking about, oh, Trump is an amazing guy, whatever, he's just Jesus pretty much. And then she started talking about JD Vance, and she said, yeah, the assassin JD Vance. And I think she realized what she said, and she kind of like, you go to my Instagram and you're gonna see it. She was like, oh crap, I can't believe I said that. And she's like freaking out for a minute, and then Erika's like, oh, it's fine, people call me all these, and she started making, like, deflecting it and making it about her, like she was calling her a name, which was not true. And well, Freaking Nicki Minaj, I think she realized what she said and she was like freaking out. Erika was just looking at her and she was like, I love you. I love you so much. Like, you're so holy. And then she was like, guys, I love this woman. She's a God-fearing woman and I love her so much. You don't even know her. Like, what the? Her most famous song was Anaconda that talks about men's dicks. And the freaking women have to be jumping on that dick with their big butts. What type of role model are we talking about here? Genuinely. Politics is such a corrupt industry. I hated it. People will stab you in the back just to get votes and money and power and influence. It's just so nasty. And there's a video I also posted on my Instagram. Talks about Charlie Kirk when he was in April of 2024. They were talking about black girls, young girls, and he was talking about role models and how Nicki Minaj, Cardi B says like they're not role models. They talk about make all these songs and this and that, and they sexualize women, whatever. Like they're not good role models. Oh, year later, Nicki Minaj is on his stage talking about Christ, God, family, and being a good role model and caring about the country. Kind of weird, and I'm not saying that people cannot change or nobody can speak because nobody's perfect. I'm not saying that. I just like when people are authentic, relatable, and they're held accountable. If you made a mistake, own it. Apologize. If Nicki Minaj comes and he's like, yeah, I'm going to give my life to the Lord, this and that, and I made a lot of mistakes, I shouldn't be doing the music, whatever. I took all these millions and millions and millions of dollars in my fame, popularity, from sexualizing women, men, talking about dicks, butts, and all this stuff, and I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to change this. I'm going to make it better. I'm cool with that. Really cool with that. But talking about how holy you are and still doing all this stuff and taking advantage of the audience, the industry, I think that it shouldn't be like that. That's just very selective, very fake, and I think that's a big problem with Christianity that nobody's held accountable. Oh yeah, Christ, Jesus, and I'm singing in friggin' church, whatever. But there's women that will be sucking dicks and mans at bars and doing this, all this stuff, and never be held accountable by their actions. They're passive followers of Christ. And I think it's a very big movement. And I think it's just a mockery of true repentance means you're abandoning your sin, you're repenting, you're never doing it again. You're restitution, you're asking for forgiveness, and you're confessing like you're trying to make it better. And you're actually putting effort. And I think a lot of people are just not like that. And I think Turning Point is just, it's just weird, man. I had a blast, though. It was really cool. I went with my wife, and it was sick. But I think it's going to fall. I think Erika Kirk's corrupted. She hasn't earned the right to be there. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's fake and gay, and she's just in it for the money, power, and fame, genuinely. And all these people that think she's such an amazing role model. She's not authentic. She's not. And it's just sad because I genuinely like Charlie Kirk. I really did. I really do. I love his content. But it's crazy how the devil has whistled his way in churches, governments, companies, brands, and it all starts with the head. If the head is not working, the whole body will die. So that's what I think. I think that movement has been hijacked, sadly. And it's going to fall like Rome. It's going to fall. And its fall is going to be very big, and a lot of people are going to see it. And then you're going to come back to this video and be like, oh, Ben, you were right. Of course I'm right. I'm always right. Just kidding. I'm not always right. But I think with this one, kind of have a good feeling about it. So anyway, well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you were there at AmericaFest, or what do you think about Erika Kirk, Charlie, Nicki Minaj, JD Vance, Ben Shapiro, whatever. But this is just my honest, real, raw, unfiltered opinion about Erika Kirk, Turning Point, and everything that happened. Love you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.